You sure? You sure?
My shirt.
My story is like
Did Sam not ask you if you wanted it to be?
triple X. No, I'm kidding, man. Okay, that's she asked me. Yeah, no, my name is Eddie, and I'm an alcoholic. And I guess my sobriety date is 1/8/86, and I have a sponsor. My sponsor have a sponsor, and so on, you know. And I got many sponsors. You know what I'm saying? But I'm here to tell you what it was like, what happened, and what it's like today. And you know, I had a good childhood. You know, I had loving grandparents. You know, and I did the best I could do. You know, coming up as a child, and got in them teen years and thought it was it. You know, I really thought it was it. A lot of y'all done heard my story, but you know, I picked my first drink up through an episode that happened in my home, and it was you know, I couldn't say that it was that devastating because like I did something that I wanted to do anyway, you know. And I used to hang out at this store. I used to run track, and I used to be around these older guys that used to hang out at this store called Bill Sards, and they used to come down that night and watch us practice, and but they be drinking wine, you know, and they never. I've been in a lot of places, but I never seen no guys like these guys when they get drunk, you know. I mean, they was real sociable and kind-hearted, had a lot of wisdom with them, and would tell you all of the right things to do, but they wouldn't do them, you know. And I mean, I'm serious. These guys, I looked up to these guys, man, you know, and they were the neighborhood geniuses. They went to college, graduated, and hung out at the store. I mean, for real, you know, good athletes and everything. Tell you anything about sports, you know, and I kind of admired those guys. And one night, my grandmother got off from work. She worked at the hospital, and after we got through practicing, we'd always stand around this bar with these guys and talk, right? And so the bottle was being passed. It was Thunderbird. It was wrapped up in a brown paper bag, and the bottle got to me. As soon as the bottle got to me, it looked like the lights of my grandmother's car hit me, you know. And anyway, my at the time she was my sister, and they went on home first, and then they came back down, and you know how your grandmama used to do, man. She embarrassed you in front of everybody. She got out of the car and hollered across the hood to the top of the car, "Eddie Ray, bring your butt here," you know. And man, I'm walking to the car just as embarrassed as I don't know what she calling me for. But I got to the car, and she asked me had I been drinking, and I told her no, and that I don't drink, you know. And we went through the breathalyzer test. Let me smell your breath. So she did that, right? And she said, he ain't been drinking. So I took it that my sister at the time was the one that told her that I was down there drinking. And that's why they came back. So she said, get your butt in this car, let's go. So I got in the car, and I was in the back seat. And I don't know what made me say this right there, but I mushed upside the head and I said, you snitching B, just like that, you know. And my grandma asked me, what did I say? I said, I ain't said nothing, I didn't say nothing to you. And anyway, we got to the house, and so I noticed my sister was crying. And as soon as she got in the door, she said, you need to tell him. She was talking to my grandmother. She said, you need to tell him now. She said, no, you need to tell him. You know what I'm saying? When I walked up on the porch, I was thinking, whooping. I'm finna get beat down. You know, that's what I was thinking. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, that's when I found out that the lady that I thought was my sister for 16 years was my mother. And I used that as an excuse to go and, the next night we went to down there to practice when they passed the bottle, I took a swallow. I said, oh man, it had grapefruit juice and Thunderbird. I said, man, this is it right here. Because when I left, you know, I just took a swallow of it too, you know. But the taste of it was so good, man, I couldn't get rid of it. And I wanted some more, you know. And you know, I went on, you know, and I was working at this clothing store called John L. Ag. And they sold a lot of Johnson and Murphy shoes back then. And I used to love them Johnson and Murphys, man. And I was working there during the summer. And so when it got cold, you know, I would lose my job, but they would call me back the next summer if I did pretty good, you know. And I did, you know, and I went on through school, and I dropped out in the 11th grade, and my grandmother told me that I couldn't live in our house unless I had a piece of paper. So I went out on University Drive at a school called Tarrant County Junior College where you could take your GED, you know. And I went out there, and I passed, and I told her, I said, now. She said, no, now what you need to do is get you a job and get out on your own. And I said, oh, a job. But, you know, anyway, I got a job. The girl that I thought was my sister, she worked at this place called General Dynamics where they make airplane parts. And anyway, she got me on out there with her. And 2 weeks after I was out there, I cut into some Spanish guys that was selling pounds of reefer. And that kind of like sent me on my way, you know. I ended up getting my own apartment and everything, and started drinking a lot, you know. That was early on, but my drink of choice at that time was Cavassier and Hennessy. I loved them two right there. I don't know why I did, but I just loved the taste of them, man. I just go in there. I'd buy the bottle when I go to the club, right? And I would just drink until I couldn't drink no more. I mean, I'd be sitting at the table, and drank some more. You know, that's how bad it got with me. But I did that for a lot of years, and I got introduced to another substance. And most of y'all know what it was, but you know, it was a drug, you know, and I fell in love with that, you know, and you know, I did a lot of things, man, that I could have avoided at an early age, and I don't know why I chose the other road. You know, it was a lot of things that I was attracted by. You know, it was a lot of things in life that I wanted, you know, and you know, I didn't want to put that burden on my grandparents, but, you know, when I look back on it, everything that I ever wanted in life, the bonds that she made, come and get me out of in and out of jail, you know, I mean, she paid for all of that, you know, and even up in the later ages, man, you know, I look back on it, man, you know, that woman, she used all her retirement money and everything, bailing me out of jail, paying lawyers off. You know, and today I can think about stuff like that, man. You know, I don't feel guilty for it, don't get me wrong, because, like, it happened, and it was meant to happen. And I'm a firm believer in the big book, you know, as far as nothing, absolutely nothing, it don't happen if God don't want it to happen, you know. And I had to accept that, man. I screwed up. You know, my grandmother could have been on a cruise or going to visit some of her family sometimes, but yet she was standing right there. I don't care how many times they locked me up. She was the first one right there. She was the first one right there. And she would always get me out of jail. You know, and, you know, you know how you wish that somebody could see you today, you know, and you could tell them that you're sorry for the things that you went through. You know, she knew I was sorry, man. You know what I'm saying? But I'm sorry. I'm talking about heartfelt sorry. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't get a chance to do that. You know, I am. And you know, a man told me, walked up. No, we was in a group setting, and no, I better tell this part first, cause I'm getting a little ahead of myself. But you know, it's a lot of things that I wanted to do for her, man, you know. And I just wasn't able to do it, man, you know, and I wanted to get sober for her. I mean, I tried, you know, and I remember one time she took me to detox, man, and I was in that detox, and this is when I met Captain Kangaroo and them, and this dude came behind me, his partner, what's his partner name? Captain Kangaroo partner that used to be with him all the time. Yeah, he took a pool ball and threw it through the TV while we was just, I mean, Captain Kangaroo standing there, and I'm standing right there, and he was standing right here. He took that pool ball and threw it straight as he could, man, and knocked that TV slap out, bam. You know what I'm saying? Well, where am I at? You know? I mean, I knew I had a problem. You know, I called my grandmother and I told my grandmother, I said, look, Mom, I know I got a problem. I said, but being crazy ain't one of them. You know? And she told me flat out right then at that point, man, she said, something wrong with you. She said, I think you're in the right place. And I said, no. And I you know, again, I convinced her because back then, when whoever took you to the detox area, I mean, this the crazy ward. You know, whoever took you up there had to be the one to check you out, you know. And I convinced her to come and get me, you know. And she did, you know, and we was going home, and I saw my boys down on the block, and I jumped out the car. I said, hold up right here, I gotta go, you know. And she said, man, I thought you was going home. And I said, I'll be there in a few minutes. When she saw me again, it was about a month later, you know. And that's the way I've done it all my life, man, you know. And that's why I feel so unforgiving of having someone like that in my life, man, you know, because I never got a chance to apologize for the stuff that I've done, you know. And don't get me wrong, I'm Eddie right now, you know, and I was Eddie then. But I allowed the alcohol and the drugs to take over Eddie. You know, I didn't have no power over that. You know, I wanted to, you know, and like I say all the time, man, the biggest lie I ever told, I told it to myself. I'm going to quit tomorrow. I ain't going to do nothing today. You know, and I'd be right back at it. You know, and you know, Mary Kay gave a discussion the other night, man, and it was on to thy own self be true. I didn't know how. I really didn't know how to be true to me. You know, my grandfather, if he said the whole time, from the time that I knew how to talk until about 18 years old, my grandfather ain't said 2 words to me. Quietest man I ever met. And he didn't say 2 words to me. If I got in trouble or something, your grandmama wants you. And that's all he would say. You know, and as far as like having a model there, you know, I didn't know what a man was supposed to be. You know, I was in prison, man, sitting in a group setting. And the man told everybody, said, man, so how many of you guys in there think you're a man? He said, if you think you're a man, raise your hand. I was the first one to raise my hand, you know. And then everybody else did too, you know. And man, when this guy broke this down to him, I started crying, man. I'm talking about literally crying, tears, and couldn't stop when he explained to me what a real man was. You know, he said, a real man, he take care of his responsibility. He's a husband to his wife. He's a father to his kids. You know, he provides for his family. And I looked up and said, damn, I ain't no man, because I ain't did none of that. You know, and I got 2 sons. You know, but I didn't do none of that. You know, I didn't do any of that stuff, man. I did stuff that boys did, little boys. You know, when I started drinking at the age of 16, that's where I was for the next 30 years. And that's for real. For the next 30 years, that's where I was, 16 years old. I didn't know how to grow up. All of my role models was guys that was on the streets hustling, selling dope, hustling prostitutes. That's all I saw. From that point on, man, and that's how I lived, like a young boy, you know. I mean, but when I learned that, man, this guy explained this stuff to me and broke it down to me, and I said, wow, man. You know how you say, ooh, that's a slap in the face right there. Because, you know, I always thought I was a man, but then when I realized it and I went through treatment, and the people broke it down to me and showed me that I was still 16 years old. And I didn't know that, man. I didn't know I was still 16. But today I know, man. You know, and, you know, as far as like giving back, you know, how do you give back? I ain't got no money. You know, I ain't rich and famous, you know. And it's the simple program, you know. I mean, I used to hear this term, each one teach one. You know, where'd that come from? If I saw you and you had anything, I'm going to try to beat you. I ain't trying to give you nothing, you know. I mean, that's the way I live, man. And I imagine that anybody that's been in the same predicament I've been in, that's the same thing, the way they thought, you know. But I had to come into this program to grow up, man, to learn what a man was really about. Because, you know, I mean, you know, I could just name some of the stuff that I would just go and get a narcotic agent. Houses, cars. I ain't bragging now, don't get me wrong, because my name was never on none of it, you know. But that's, you know, that's what I did, man. You know, I didn't care nothing about it. If he took this house today, he took that car today. I used to have so many wrecks, I'd jump out of car being drunk and under the influence. I'd jump out of cars and go off and leave them because they wasn't in my name. I ain't had no driving license or nothing, you know, so he can't come back and get me. And the people the people that named the stuff, they already knew what a lot of tell. You know, stuff like that, man, jeopardizing other people, man, along my journey, man, you know, to get high. You know, this is a different age, man, for me, man. You know, I'm going to tell you something happened today, man. I'm so tired. I'm going to tell you, man, I ain't no spring chicken today, man. You know, and I'm going to tell you, it's some little 18 months and 2 years old and 3 years old running around, and you trying to keep up with them. Man, I'm going to tell you, man, when it's time to sit down. You know, it's time to sit down, man. They'll work you to death, man. I'm telling you, man. They will, man. But I enjoy it. Because, see, I didn't have that time with my sons. You know, I didn't get to see them be happy. You know, I didn't get to see them laugh, man. That was the thing that I missed most. Being able to see that smile on my own kid's face, you know. Even though these is like mine, you know, and I love them like they mine, you know. But it ain't like giving your own what they supposed to have. You know what I'm saying? And everything that he saw is doing right now, he got it honest. I can't be mad at him because I showed him everything I did. You know, I can't be mad at him. You know, he saw his daddy, you know, make an ass out of himself, so that's what he want to do, you know. And God be with him, you know. I can't make nobody take this thing, man. You know, my youngest son got killed in a car wreck. He was drinking then too, you know. But at the same token, I couldn't make him take it, man. You have to want this program, man. You know, this is a program of action, you know, and I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing today. You know, I don't care what nobody, and they say this sound harsh when I say it, but I be meaning from the profoundness of my heart, man. I do. And it's from the profoundness of it. You know, I don't care. Don't nobody in here get this program. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing today. Because I know what's keeping me clean and sober. You know, I ain't drunk today. You know, I know where I slept at last night. You know, I done got up in the morning, rolled over, looked up, and she done took a wig off, got her makeup off, and scared me to death. You know, I'm saying, how in the hell I get here? I mean, it sounds comical, but it's the truth, man. You know, but, you know, today I work a different program, man. You know, I done met a lot of people on this journey. You know, I'm gonna tell you this story about me and you. I'm out on a pass. So I go to this, I think it was the anniversary down at Bass. And Hugh was sitting at the chair next to me, so he said, hey man, where you from? I was finna lie and say Texas. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm on the pass, I got my street clothes on and everything. And I said, I'm in Sanford, man. He said, oh, Sanford Correction? I said, yeah. He said, man, he said, and then we just got to talking, you know? we just got to talking. But, you know, I'm going to show you how God worked. I thought I wasn't going to never see this guy again in life. I really didn't. And he told me where he worked. And I remembered the name of the place. I said, I know somebody that's been there, worked there or something. But I never put no face to the name, you know what I'm saying? And when I took the job there over there at Bethesda, Everybody kept telling me, said, man, you know who, you know you. I said, no, I don't think I know this dude, man. And when I met him, he was the guy that's sitting next to me that night. And you know what he told me? I said, where you work at, man? He said, I work at the best halfway house in North Carolina. I said, what? That's what he told me, man. I said, dog. But that's how God works. God put people in our life, man. You know, in the day, I could sit down and have a general conversation with this guy. And if I'm upset or something, you know, oh, man, just leave it alone, man. Pray about it. You know, he should drop little lugs like that, you know, and I'm still mad, you know, but I'm saying, yeah, I do need to pray for that dude, man. You know, stuff like that. I mean, stuff that I need, you know, at that particular time. Because my mind, if I'm in my head, I want to kill him. You know, and that's the way I be thinking, man, you know. And I know I ain't got no business thinking like that. And I'm calling myself being an AA member. But I do have them thoughts, you know, because I'm human, you know. And AA taught me not to be a doormat for nobody. You know, I can't make people want what they need, you know. I can just present it to them, you know. I can take them to meetings, you know, and different AA functions and things of that nature right there. If they don't want it, they don't want it, man. You know, you can't make a person have this program, man. When they get ready, they're going to be sick, and trust me, they're going to be sick and tired of being sick and tired, man. You know, I mean, because like, not in my wildest dream would I ever imagine that what happened to me, the way I got into prison, would have happened to me. But I'm going to tell you, man, when you're under the influence and you with some stupid guys, you don't know what might take place. You know, and at this particular moment, man, it cost me 80 years of my freedom, man. You know, something that I thought, when that judge told me, he said, I sent you to 80 years to the Department of North Carolina. I said, man, I like to faint it. I really wanted to faint, you know, because I'm trying to figure out, man, how am I going to do 80 years? You know, the guys that was with me, they copped out for 5 years and 6 years. They wrote statements, you know, testified against me, you know. And I'm saying, wow. You know, at one point I wanted to turn around and do the same thing. But when you come up in an era like, you do the crime, you do the time, man. You know, they'll find you up against a tree tied up with chain around your neck with a bullet in your head. You know, that's the way I can, that's what would happen. That's what I witnessed, you know. I mean, and I'm saying, nah, I'm gonna hold my tongue, man. You know, but God behold, man, I regret that every day that I'd have lived and seen life, you know. I should have told it too. If it wasn't on nobody but myself. I still lied to myself, man. You know, I would lie to myself and I would say, man, I'm going to quit. I ain't going to do this no more. I ain't messing with them guys, you know. You know, it's hard to do the right thing. But when you do the right thing, it turns out to be the easiest thing you ever done in your life. You know, for some reason, I didn't like me. You know, it was things that I wanted that I couldn't have. And I would do stupid stuff to try to reach those goals, man. You know, the only goal I try to reach today is to wake up and be sober. That's the only goal I want, man. I don't want to ever drink again in my life, man. You know, I done had triple bypass, lung taken out, and I'm saying, I'm anemic. You know, I get blood transfusions every 4 months. You know, I'm saying, man, what's going on, you know? But this was stuff that I done in my past that caught up with me. You know, when I was young, running and doing this and doing that, you know, all that stuff was taking effect on me, man. You know, and I mean, and right now, you know, you can take so much anesthesia and it just get immune to you. You know what I'm saying? And the pain don't never go away no more. You know, I mean, for real, man. You know, I done been under the knife so many times, man. You know, until when they put it over me, I might, man, when is it gonna take effect? You know, stuff like that, man. I mean, that's cause I ruined my immune system when I was young, man, and I didn't realize the stuff that I was doing, man. You know, it's a lot of stuff that we do today, man, you know, and I mean that I did when I was drinking that I didn't know was going to affect me when I got 63 years old. I didn't know that. If I would have known that, you know, I always say, damn, I want to get at least Neil's age. You know what I'm saying? Hell, I might not even make it to that right now, bad a health as I'm in. And that's for real, man. I played Russian roulette my life for a lot of years, man. You know, until I met a man that had working knowledge of that book, man, that walked me through it, guided me, and showed me how to be a man, you know. And today, man, I got friends in there, associates in there, man, that I really respect, man. I mean, I'm talking about to the utmost, like, tip my, y'all in there, ball in it. You know what I'm saying? But I tip my hat to these guys, man. You know, these guys is what's keeping me afloat today. You know, when I got a problem, I got people I can go to, man. Ain't no, if he busy, I got another one I can punch the button on. You know, and I ride and I talk with these guys all the time, man. Frank, one of them, you know, and the best AA meeting I had is when I'm with him. We had a one-on-one. We ride all the way to Wilmington, Charlotte. We talking though. And we talking AA, man. You know, and how to get this thing back to other people that really need it, man. You know, it ain't for people that really want it. It's for people that really need it, man. They need this program, and they don't know it, but we trying to give it to them. You know, I wanted it myself. Many times I said, yeah, I want this program. What's the benefits in it? That's the first thing I'm looking at. What's the benefits? See, I don't know what I want, but you know what I need. And you can tell me what I need to do, man. You know, I'll listen today. I had the hardest head. My head was harder than a brick, man. You know, I had a hard head, man. I wouldn't listen to nobody because I knew it all. And look what it got me. You know, in a blackout, I went and robbed a jewelry store. In a blackout. Right to this day. I'm still in denial as far as me being the person. You understand? But the first thing I did, man, what a drunk normally do, and it's good at doing. When they showed me the video thing, and I'm standing there, and I'm robbing these people, I'm saying to the detectives, I said, man, that guy got a coat on just like mine. You know, that's how deep denial I was, man, and I'm looking at myself. I know that's me. But I can't tell it on me. You know, that's what I'm telling myself. You know, and you know, the office that was offered to me years ago, man, if I would have accepted some of that knowledge that them guys was giving me, I'd probably have about 40-something years now. I have 40-something years clean sober right now. If I would have took that first advice, hard-headed, chasing women, you know, sometimes we have to be careful what we ask for. You know, I used to ask God crazy stuff. You know, like, God, please get me out of this trouble that I'm in. You know, don't let my grandma know that I'm the one that stole her $20. Stuff like that, man. When I should have been praying for somebody else instead of myself. You know, God, please watch over my sons. Don't let no harm or danger come to them. I'm steady sending foxhole prayers up to God about me. Me. And that's what it be about when I'm out there drunk, man. You know, you ain't gonna out-drink me. And when you leave, I mean, I'm being straight up. When you leave, you might get robbed if you still got some money. And I ain't got none. That's how I live, man. You know, and through this program, man, I'm learning, man, that, you know, I learn something in here every day. You know, every time a newcomer come over there to the whole halfway house or come into this building, I realize that, damn, he looking at these people just like I did. He didn't do that. He didn't do all that stuff he said he did. That's what his mind telling him. You know, this guy telling his story, his true story. But he's in denial to the point that, you know, he went closed-minded. You know, he just closed his mind to everything that was going on in there. And you know, when I see them guys again, what they doing? Coming out of them bushes up there on Poplar Street, up there behind Motel 6, in a cardboard box. You know, I mean, that's the life, though. You know, when somebody tried to give him the truth, but he didn't believe that this thing worked. And that's why we go back at it, man, because we don't believe it really worked. I'm going to try it one more time. Stay 10 years this time. After having all that misery and pain. watching they wasn't your friends, your associates die from this disease, you know, or go crazy, or OD on something. And, you know, remember when the LSD and acid and all that stuff was out? Man, I seen a dude, this is my word, dive off the diving board. Pow! Got some good spring. And wasn't no water in the pool. Killed himself. Killed himself. I witnessed that. Standing on the side and rooting him on. Everybody else is rooting him on. Yeah, man, you can't do no full twist off of that right there. I'm serious, man. That's how sick I was. That's how sick I was, man. Drunk. You know, we all standing around the swimming pool and ain't no water in it. We want this dude to jump off the diving board. And he did it. Sure did. But this program, man, has given me a new life and a new way of thinking, man. You know, I had to reprogram my whole mind to a lot of this stuff that was being issued to me. Because, you know, I wanted some of it and I didn't want a lot of it. You know, I just wanted enough to be able to quit tomorrow. It don't work like that, man. You know, I found out the hard way. It don't work like that, man. You know, you go give a person 22 years of your life in a cell, it's going to make you think, because that's all you got to do is think. And I knew what I needed to do. They used to call AA. You know, all my boys be in the dormitory. AA, they come down, AA. I flinched. I don't know why I would flinch, but I'd be wanting to go. I knew I needed help, man. I knew deep down inside I needed help, man. I needed to find out this problem, man. You know, but I didn't know how to get it. And this dude come on the yard one day, man, and he invited me to a meeting. I said, yeah, I'm going to go, man. And he came back out there the next day. He said, I said, yeah, I'm going to go, man. I'm going to go one night, man. I'll be there soon. And they called it again, man. And I flinched and I looked around in the room to see who all was going to see me walking out. You know, we get to prison, we tell them war stories now. I mean, I'm telling you, you hear some real war stories in there. I was a kingpin and I was this, and you don't want nobody to know you was a drunk and a dope fiend. You don't want nobody to know that right there. But I mean, I'm being real, man. We don't want people to know that there about us. You know, I end up being my own self-best customer. You know, we don't want people to know that right there. And I would flinch, man, when they call that AA. And one night I just got up and went. When they called it, everybody was down to, hey, where you going, man? Where you going? I said, I'm going to AA, where I need to be. Because I had talked to this guy enough on the yard, man, that I knew what I needed to do. I knew what I needed to do to get help, man. You know, I needed some help, man. You know, the first day I got to prison, I was doing the same identical thing that I was doing on the streets, drinking and drugging. It was just as plenty in prison than it was out on the streets, man, and I'm being real. I did the same identical thing, you know. And I'm standing there watching guys get busted in the head with weights and stuff because they couldn't come up with $20, you know, walking around in the prison like a zombie now, you know. I mean, I witnessed this, and I know that if it ain't no, once I start, I can't stop, you know. And I realized that, man. I said, you better bag up now, man. You 2,200 miles away from home, you don't know none of these guys out here, and you better keep it like that. You know, and I met this guy, man. This guy that had working knowledge of that book, man, and he walked me through that book, man. And from that point on, man, I ain't turning around, man. I ain't turning around. I've been in AA diligently since I've been out of prison and the whole time I was there. And matter of fact, the same substances I used to love, when I became a substance abuse counselor, I couldn't believe it. I mean, I would take the lecture and make the lecture out of myself. You know, I mean, that's what I would do. I would use myself I wouldn't pick nobody out in the group. I would use myself and show them what it did to me first. You know, and that's how I conveyed my message to them people, man. You know, and you know, and it was the same identical way that my first sponsor gave it to me. He told me about himself first. He had told me where he had been, you know. No shame, no guilt, no nothing. He told me exactly what he had did, you know. And I'm saying, wow. I thought I did some bad shit. You know what I mean? That's the way I really thought, man. You know, when I come in these places, man, you know, and I see these guys thinking that, hey, You know, the only way you're going to get rid of that, man, is get it out. If you don't share that knowledge about what happened to you, how you expect to help anybody else? You know, I can come in the AA all day, walk with my big book, but do I open it up? Do I let it teach me what I need to do? You know, I see guys working with guys, man. You know, that's a beautiful thing, man. But is that guy seeing what he needs to see in me? You know, he got to see that it worked through me. The guy that I'm helping, he got to see that it's working. I'm living it. This is the dream. I'm talking about the real dream right now, man. You know, not in my wildest dream would I ever thought that I'd be sitting up here talking to a group of people like this about this. I don't have no secrets no more, man. You know, I don't have nothing to hide. I beat my wife. You know, if I beat my wife, I beat my wife. You know, I'm getting it out of me now. I'm telling another man what I actually done in life. You know, I mean, stuff like that we're ashamed to tell people, man. You know, I'm not that man today. And wouldn't go back to him for nothing anyway. I'll die before I go back to that other man, I will. I'll literally blow my brain. I ain't no coward today. If I tell you I'm going to kill myself, trust me, you better believe I'm finna go kill myself. Because I done did something stupid. Men don't do that, man. You know, God is good, man. You know, God has brought me a long way, man. You know, and through this program, it's only through this program, man, you know, that I was able to see the light, man. People from AA, man, you might think I'm out. I had people from AA going to Raleigh to the parole board speaking for me. This man don't need to be in prison. You know, and shit. You know, you talk better than me, keep on saying it, you know. I mean, for real. You know, I used to compare my cases with other. This guy chopped his dad's head off in the bed. And they gave this guy parole the first time up. And I'm saying to myself, man, I wrote the parole board. I mean, I'm talking about I got on until I said, look, man, you talking about this as an equal thing, man, but yet you let a guy that just chopped his dad's head off, and I ain't hurt nobody. Didn't nobody get hurt in my crime, but you let him go, and you still got me in prison? I couldn't believe that, man. You know, and at this time, man, I had been in prison something like 17 years. You know, and I'm trying to figure out why I'm still here. I ain't killed nobody. You know, guys with life sentences was getting out before me. I had 2 40-year sentences running wild. They call it boxcar. You have to do the first one to get to the second one. They had told me when I got my sentence that I was going to be able to parole from the first sentence to the second sentence. And I'd do my parole time out in the streets. That didn't happen, man. Until I started blinking. You know, I hate to do stuff like that, but I started, you know, shedding the light. Hey, man, this dude right here just killed his wife. You know, this guy killed a guy that stole a lawnmower out of his backyard. You know, when I started using them cases against them, they started humbling down and, hey, yeah, we trying to do everything we can to get you out of prison. You know, put me on work release. You know, I didn't know. They never told me. You know, I had to have a permanent address in the state of North Carolina to be able to be paroled here. They never told me that. I'm trying to parole to Texas. I'm trying to parole home. My family wanted me at home. But I'm still writing these letters, man, and I'm trying to figure out what the heck's going on, man. All these guys do these heinous crimes, man, and I ain't did nothing like that, man. You know, I hated to shed the light on them people, but hey, that's the only way I got out of prison, man. That's the only reason I'm standing here today, because of God, man. And I opened my mouth. I spoke up for the first time as a man. You know, why you ain't letting me out? You know, and I'm in there doing the right thing. You know, I mean, hey, man, this is my word. I went through prison the whole time. And God be my witness. And this is hard to believe if you ever been in the prison system in the state of North Carolina. I went through 21 years without ever getting a write-up. All I did was work, went to vocational schools, and work, man. You know, that's all I've done. And they won't help me. But you let the dude that just chopped his dad's head off go with an axe at that. You know, I thought I had a legitimate beat, but then I was really wrong. I'm being honest. I was wrong. The only example I was supposed to use to the parole board was me. And I had made my mind up. I said, next time they call me, I got to ride. Man, you go. They got a place called Sandy Ridge. You look like you're in a sardine can. There'd be so many inmates in there, man. I mean, it's just like if everybody right here tonight would just pile into one. It's just, man, it's thousands and thousands of guys in one place, man. You know, I was tired of living like that, man. But the day that they called me to go home for parole, you know what I did? I buckled. I said, whoa, shit. I know how to live in prison. I don't know how to live out there. Got to the Radio Shack. My sponsor took me to the Radio Shack. I throwed up all over the place, man. I had a panic attack. I did. I threw it all up over the people's stuff. I'm getting a phone. I ain't never used a cell phone before. I'm buying a phone, man. You know, that's the kind of stuff that you neglect or don't learn while you in prison. You know, how to use a simple phone. You know, I saw them on TV. I had never used none. And that stuff, man, I was scared. I was really scared. When I walked out that gate that day, and my sponsor said, well, I'm going to take you to your house. I had made a lot of money when I was on work release, right? And he had got me a place to stay. And you know where he put me at? And I asked myself, even to this day, man, I ask myself, is that a test? All the prostitutes, all the drugs was being sold in the house right next door to me. I said, man, God, is this a test? You know, I told my sponsor, I said, I can't live here, man. I said, they can have that little money. I said, I'm finna find me something for myself, man. I can't live down here, man. You know, because that's what they was doing. You know, I blew a lot of money trying to find the right place to live, but I found that place that I wanted to live. You know, and I learned this. Can't no man pick nothing for me. You know, I got to want it myself. You know, that's even my sobriety, man. You know, as bad as my sponsor wanted me to have it at that particular time, man, hey, he talked to his head fall off. If I'm going to do what I'm going to do, I'm going to do what I'm going to do, man. You know, until I want it. You know, and that's the way it went, man, for a lot of years, man. You know, there's a lot of guys in here, man, that I take my hat off to right now, man. Because they didn't help a lot of people, man. They helped me. You know, every time they open their mouth, they help me, whether they realize it or not. You know. And all you got to do is open up, man, and hear the truth. You know the truth from false. You know, if a man talking about that book, and he quotes stuff out of that book, and he explaining it to you, you know that man know what he talking about, man. But that guy that come in there half-ass drunk, for the first 2 days, all he do is talk. You know who that is. Well, me and my wife had a fight, and she threatened to leave me, and that's the only reason why I'm in there now. You better not listen to nothing he say till he get a sponsor. And I'm for real, man. Y'all done met him before. But hey, man, this program been good to me, man. I've been blessed tremendously, man. I got life. You know, numerous times that I really, things happened, and I didn't think I was going to come out of it. You know, when they told me that I had cancer, you know, I said, oh, God, I'm going to die. I did, man. That's the first thing I said, man. I said, oh, man, don't let this be right. But, you know, we always think the worst. You know, and then I had to just give it to God, man. You know, I had to give myself to God. You know, because I wasn't in control no more, man. You know, if I had to have another man to come in and run my life, man, you know I wasn't in control of nothing, man. But all you got to do, man, is just give it to God, man. Pray. And listen. And you know when a man is matched up with you, man, for you to be able to hear what you need to hear, man. You know, I can fool you all day long. Yeah, man, you right. Yeah, that's right. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. When I get to the halfway, I'm finna go to sleep. I ain't finna pick no book up. I ain't finna write in no journal. Today I got a journal. I got about 4 or 5 journals. You know, I mean, to the point that if I stomp my toe, that's what I'm gonna let God know to happen today. You know, God, this is what happened today. You know, this was a beautiful day, but I stomped my toe. You know, and that's for real, man. You know, and if I put it on paper, and then I can see it better, man. You know, I can look at that and say, well, you done come a long way. You usually have a GD, you know. But you know, stuff like that, man. You know, because this is real, man. You know, I played Russian roulette with my life for a long time, man. You gonna either get it or you gonna die. And that's just the truth, man. You know, I choose living. You know, that's why I'm here tonight, man. And that's why I share my experience, strength, and hope with y'all, man. You know, and when y'all get up here and do the same thing, you know, I get something out of every speaker that I listen to, man. You know, ain't none of us the same. You know, but I get something out of it, man. You know, and I'm thankful for all the guys that came before me, man. You know, guys like Neil, Sit the Pace, you know, John, AJ, you know, Mac. Look at Mac. Yeah, guys like that. Donnie, you know, Frank, you know, it's Richard, yeah, Richard one of them. Hey, man, this guy, man, you know, he a quiet guy, man. He a real quiet guy, man, but I swear to God, I love him to death, man. You know, every person that I ever seen in sponsor, you know what they say? I got the best sponsor with the building. You know what the next one say? I got the best sponsor at the building, man. I asked Mike one day. Mike told me the other week, he said, man, I'm proud of my sponsor. Oh, he got me with that one, man, but that was a good one, man. You know. And, you know, I enjoy seeing them guys sponsor guys, man. And it gives me some incentive, man, just to be able to be associated with these people. So when I run into that situation with guys over at the halfway house, you know, I'm able to get something back, man. You know, life is good today. Misery ain't. Thank you for letting me share.